Well, good morning, friends and neighbors. Let's get started on my big box of tools. Let's go ahead and do a little restoration on some of these. Now, these C-clamps have been soaking in vinegar for about 3 days now. They wasn't bad rusted, but they was pretty rusty. Not just any vinegar, only the finest Piggly Wiggly vinegar. Now, and only the finest acid neutralizer baking soda from the Dollar General store. Put some of that in our sink over here. I've tried to mix up baking soda water to neutralize, do stuff like this and save it, but it doesn't work too good. And that big box is only $1, so not that bad. Now I got me a little brush. Let's take a look at them. Look really good. Now I'm going to neutralize this before I do much to them, because this stuff will put a stink on your hands that won't come off for a while. We'll drop them in there. Oh yeah, that's going to come out nice. That's enough. Now you can, however, save vinegar a few times. So for the next video, the pliers. Now somebody's already asked me, especially about these. These are a very good tool, very sought after tool. Somebody's already asked me if they're for sale. No, they're not. Those are going in my toolbox. Now let's add us a little bit more in there. And we'll put this out of the way for a couple days, because I've got multiple things going on. It's dark and dreary out here, so I hope it picks up good enough light. Get them most of this off of there, then we'll take them in the shop so we can see better. And matter of fact, nothing in that toolbox is for sale. All of it is going in my toolbox, except for a couple of things I am going to make a couple of knives out of. Yeah, that's just... Where'd my steel brush go? Alright, who got it? Somebody got it. There it is. And there is another tropical storm, hurricane, depression, whatever it's going to be, coming at us. This is Tropical Storm Eta. Which my great grandmother's name was Eta. She was a sweet lady. She actually raised my father for the most part. I think she passed when I was probably 17, 18, something like that. Alright, most of it's off of that one. It's going to be nice. I can do the same thing with this one. And we'll go in the shop and see the next step. There we go, cleaned up really nicely so far. Now I cannot get these to come off with fear of breaking them. Scared I'll break them. They should snap right off, but they won't. So I'm just going to work around them. But I am going to cut these off because they're bent, especially this one. Bent anyway, and I want a longer handle. And I have some round stock that we're going to make some new ones. So let me get the grinder out, just whack them off, and we'll look at them again. Big burr right there. There we go. Now it's already starting to flash rust in just a very, very few minutes. So we're going to take it over to the wire wheel, clean it real good, and move on from there. This part's going to take a while. There we go, one down. Got a couple little spots I couldn't get with the big wheel. I'll go over there with my little hand wire brush and clean that up. One to go. Clean around there. Now I'm going to paint these, except for, of course, all this. And I'm going to protect it with gun blue, because I don't want it rusting up on me again. There we go. Cool. Now, next thing I think I've got some primer. Let's see if I can find that. I'm gonna take these thread parts up, get them ready for paint, and we'll be back. Looking good. Y'all almost let me forget something. Clean the rust out of that little hole there. This little wire brush stacks out of my gun cleaning kit. I don't remember which caliber this is for. Maybe 22. Something like that. Okay, it looks shiny in there, so I'm happy with that. Now, instead of acetone, I'm just going to use some rubbing alcohol to clean these off with. Works just as well sometimes when you got a good, already fairly clean surface like this. And it does not stink nearly as bad as acetone. Start messing with acetone and the whole shop will smell like that all day. Let's see, like that. Make sure all that's covered. Alright, that one's good. And a paper towel. Don't clean acetone, alcohol, anything with a shop towel. Shop towels have some kind of little resin type stuff in them. Just next time you grab one, smell of it and you can smell it. It's almost like a oil or something. Make your paint not stick. Now I'm going to get some little pieces of wire and hang them up outside and see if I got some primer, and we'll go to spraying. Then I'll go out and find that round stock that I've got. Think of the spray. I've had this for a long time. It's pretty old. Alright, I'll do that one. We'll give it a couple hours to dry, or an hour, whatever the can says, and we'll put the color coat on. Besides the fact green is my favorite color, I still have some of this. So we're going to use it till it's gone. I'll put at least 2 coats of this on there. I'll do the other one, and I've got to make a run to the post office. By the time I get back, that'll take me about an hour. By the time I get back, they'll be ready for the second coat. Sure hope it don't rain. It's still cloudy and dreary. I hope there's enough light out here to see. There we go, 2 coats. I hung them back in the shop here because it's sort of damp outside, a little drier in here. It's really, really humid. Got rain coming in this afternoon. Well, there we go. Now I'm working on, where'd they go? The new handles. Now what I'm going to do is drill a hole on each side. I've got it center punched out, ground me a little flat on them. And I'm going to put a piece of brass, about 32nd brass on one. That's where you want to put them together. On the other side, I'll mushroom it so it won't slide in and out. Figured I'd use some brass, If we're gonna make it pretty, let's go ahead and make it pretty. Know what I mean? Be back in a minute. Alright, paint is dried overnight. Looks very nice. Now I'm going to use this Sharpie Industrial. I already tried it, it works. If I start doing a lot of this, which I probably will, I need to invest in a set of paint pens, because that would be the best way to do it. Proper way to do it would be take a brush but I don't think my hands are steady enough for that. Some little highlights. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Let me do the rest of it. Alright, let's turn this black, rust proof it with some gun blue. It's already starting to flash rust, or trying to. But it is so humid. Now, new viewers to the channel, I am in Northwest Florida, the land of sand and humidity and hurricanes. We've had a record year for those things, and got another one out there. Maybe it'll come this way, maybe it won't. Who knows? We hope it don't. Got some gun blue in here. I'm going to do the other one the same way. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, let's do this. Y'all can see that. I am not an expert cameraman. It doesn't take much of this stuff. Just a tiny bit of paint on that one side there, but that's okay. We're not going to worry too much about that. Because these tools are going to get used. They're not just going to sit up and be pretty. But I want to do everything I can to keep them from rusting. That's the thing. Plus, when it comes time to pass them along, you don't want to pass along rusty old junky tools. Well, I don't anyway. There we go, there's that one so far. I did the other one the same way. New handles, tightening handles. I'm gonna do those. It's not quite as big as round stock as I wanted, but it'll work just fine. We'll put them on here in just a minute. Now we'll cut some little pieces of brass rod for stops. I've got one cut for over here. Put them on the little anvil. Brad them over just a little bit where they won't slide through, like that. Well, I gotta cut the other side. Same thing on this one. This one's a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. Now I'll go back in the end and polish these off on the wire wheel so they're not sharp. There we go. And we cut the other sides and we'll be almost complete with this thing. I'm just going to bend it over like that. Go. Now I've got WD-40 on there. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of grease, and then we'll take a final look. Well, alright y'all, there it goes. They're done. Ready to be put to work. I'm going to hang them over here on the clamp rack. And we'll move on to the next project. Now the next restoration project will be the pliers. Got 1, 2, 3. I actually have 4 pairs. I'm gonna do all at one time because they just need a good clean, polishing, and they're in excellent shape. So hope you enjoyed this. I don't know how to do all the fancy fast forward and the befores and afters and all that, but you saw them when I took them out of the vinegar, and I'll try to link the video of the box when I got it, and you'll see them how rusty they were. They wasn't in that bad a shape, but good enough, bad enough to go ahead and get them cleaned up. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. And it just happens to be Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all of my brothers and sisters. And I will see y'all next time.